Stephen Moore of the Committee to Unleash Prosperity, drops by the show. He wants to cut your Social Security. Check this out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. The program goes on. But right now, on the line with us is Stephen Moore, our old buddy, the White House Economic Recovery Task Force and chairman of FreedomWorks Task Force on Economic Revival. I get their emails on a regular basis saying, reopen the economy. The websites for Stephen Moore, Committee to Unleash Prosperity.com and FreedomWorks.org. And, of course, you can tweet him at Stephen Moore with an E on the end. Stephen, welcome back to the program. And thanks for joining us. In this time when, you're welcome, in this time when the Social Security Trust Fund last year paid out over $1 trillion and only received $944 billion in revenue, so it's declining. And the Medicare Trust Fund, according to the 2020 Medicare Trustee Report, the insurance trust fund will be exhausted, depleted in 6 years, in 2026. Why are you and Donald Trump proposing to cut the revenue to Social Security and Medicare? I don't get it.
Hey, Tom. Well, good to be with you. We want to revive this economy, get money back into the hands of people. As you know, that the payroll tax is the number one tax that middle-income people pay. We are in an economic emergency, and now is a good time to get that money right back into the pockets of the workers across America. Very popular with people, by the way. People love the idea of seeing a suspension of that tax. It's a much better way to help people than, I think Nancy Pelosi wants $500 billion for state and local governments and, $100 billion for school districts that aren't going to open up. Why not give the money right back to the people? And by the way, we would reimburse the trust fund with the Social Security payroll and Medicare trust funds with government bonds, which is how the system is funded right now. So, we think this would be a good...
Well, the system is funded right now with a payroll tax. It's not, that payroll tax is then invested in bonds. Are you suggesting that for every dollar that I don't have to pay in payroll taxes, you're going to ask Congress to appropriate that money from the general fund and move it into the Social Security Trust Fund? Is that specifically what you're saying, or is this some sort of semantic sleight of hand?
Well, the trust fund, as you know, is really a kind of fiction as it is. I mean, the trust fund, Medicare,
the trust fund is a thing
for a long time. All we're saying is
it's got $1 trillion surplus.
So all we want to do is say that guarantee, just like Barack Obama did this 10 years ago. Remember when he cut the payroll tax? He said, we will hold the trust funds harmless. We're not cutting anyone's benefits. You can go back and read what Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi said about this a decade ago, that they said this was a big
right. Congress appropriated money to put into the trust fund, but the president doesn't have the authority to do that. If I'm reading this correctly, you're suggesting that that Congress doesn't even need to be consulted in this. This article I've got. The president needs to pull an end run. There's a legal way to do that. He should declare a national emergency, economic emergency, and announce that the IRS will immediately stop collecting the payroll tax. I thought that took Congress, and that's how Barack Obama did it. Congress did that as part of the Economic Stimulus Act.
Yeah. So, by the way, it would be great. Why wouldn't Congress do this? I mean, the Pelosi, for some reason,
because the Democrats control the House and they don't want to destroy Social Security or Medicare.
No, but the Democrats did this 10 years ago. Here's the problem Nancy Pelosi has. 10 years ago, Nancy Pelosi, when Obama cut the payroll tax, she said, this is the greatest victory for 150 million working Americans. It's going to be a stimulus for the economy. It's going to help pump up the incomes of middle-class Americans. And now she's saying she doesn't want to do it.
Well, that's because you had full employment then, or something close to it. Now you've got 25 million people who are unemployed who aren't paying the payroll tax. What's wrong with simply giving $600 a week to all the unemployed Americans?
Because, Tom, I mean, I'm glad you...
And raising the minimum wage.
So this is a total different philosophical orientation between you and me and the left and the right. You want to keep giving money to unemployed people. We want to give money to people who actually are working. The nurses, the doctors, the sanitation workers.
People who are actually working are already getting money. It's called wages. Why not argue, instead of arguing to cut their Social Security taxes, why not argue, which is about 6%, why not argue for a 6% increase in the minimum wage?
Well, because the minimum wage destroys jobs, because you're going to put people on an unemployment line if you do that. Why not do this? By the way, this gives every single minimum wage worker in America, from California to Maine, every single minimum wage worker would get a 7.5% pay raise. Why would
at the expense of Social Security?
No, it doesn't.
This is
security.
No, you say yes. We're gonna make them whole. We're gonna put that money back in. But we all know this is the camel's nose under the tent. You know, you guys have been trying to destroy Social Security ever since it was passed in 1935. You hate Social Security and Medicare. Everybody knows that. That's the Republican Party's official position.
Tom, you've got a problem there because Barack Obama did it 10 years ago. Nobody said, "Oh my gosh."
That doesn't make it right.
What?
And that was during a time of full employment. Yes, if you want to immediately flush a short-term jolt of cash into the economy, that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to give everybody who's unemployed, now that you get 25 million unemployed people, you know, Obama gave, maybe 100 million unemployed people, an extra 6%. Now you can give 25 million people an extra $600 a week. That's going to be a huge boost to the economy. What it is so far, I mean, the only reason the economy has limped along as well as it has is that people can still afford to order food on Grubhub.
So I just want to get this straight. You're saying paying people twice as much money for not working as working is a stimulus for the economy? I mean, come on.
If somebody is making twice as much, then they're working for crap wages.
Every American who's going to be unemployed, why would people, how is that fair to the construction worker who's working? He comes home, the guy sitting next door who isn't working gets twice as much money as he does. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
I guarantee you the construction worker is making more than the person on unemployment, even if the person on unemployment is making $600 a week.
Now it's $600. Now what? No.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then our construction workers are radically underpaid. Construction work is more dangerous than being a cop.
Well,
and cops are making $80,000 a year. They start here in Portland at $60,000 a year. And construction work is more dangerous than being a police officer. I mean, you know, we have a horrible problem.
I want to raise the take-home pay of every single worker in America, even if they make the minimum wage. And you say you're against it. I mean, I don't understand why you're against a 6.5%.
I'm saying give people the right to unionize. Give people the right to unionize. We had the fastest growing middle class in the history of the world from 1940 to 1980 when Reaganomics kicked in and you guys got your way. Since then, the middle class has collapsed. It's been totally flat, and in many cases, it's gone down. Individual wages have gone down, even though household wages have gone up. And this is purely the result of these massive tax cuts that you're continuing to promote. Tax cuts aren't the solution. Let people unionize, and they will negotiate decent wages. But you guys are fighting unions left and right. We had a third of the American workforce unionized when Reagan came into office. Now it's 6%.
So even every union worker in America, if you're listening to the show and you're a union worker, under the plan that I'm talking about, Donald Trump is talking about, we're going to give you a 7.5% pay raise. I don't understand why anybody would.
Well, it's not a pay raise. It's a tax cut. It's not a pay raise. It's a tax cut. But
no,
all right.
Want to make it permanent.
All right. Well, if you're going to make it permanent, I guess it's a pay raise. It totally kills Social Security. I get it. Okay, Stephen Moore. Stephen, thanks for dropping by. It's always great talking with you. White House Economic Recovery Task Force. Thank you, Stephen. Committee to unleash prosperity.com and freedomworks.org.